See this bag?
Yeah,
Which is darker, me or the bag?
you.
Which is darker, you or the bag?
What are you talking about?
The capital C Club? In the old days, Frank, if you were a light-skinned black, you were Creole. And they spell Creole with a capital C. If you were dark-skinned, it was Creole with a little c. And there was a big difference between the two.
Bob Howard. You just call me Bob. Plain Bob, Lolly.
Pig meat without the dressing.
Won't you come over and meet our taxi?
Why, yes. Where is it? Don't go.
Let's get something straight, kids. Homie may be a clown, but he don't make a fool out of himself.
Why you become a clown, dear?
I guess it's because I got so much love to give. And it's part of my prison work release program. So I got about 5 more years of this clown crap.
If we would have had a map, we wouldn't have had to drive 2 miles an hour trying to find a freeway entrance, and we wouldn't have been stopped.
Oh, okay, I get it now. We were stopped because we were driving too slow. We were breaking the slowness limit. Oh, okay. Well, you see, I never heard of that law before, but I did hear this other law. It's called the if you see a black guy driving anything but a burnt-out Pinto, you better stop him because he stole it law.
Dr. King said, and I don't think I'll ever forget, in a sense, we have come to our nation's capital to cash a check. When the architects of our republic wrote the magnificent words of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, they were signing a promissory note to which every American was to fall heir. I mean,
Congressman Mfumi, do you see Hollywood as projecting these shifting attitudes, or do you see it as an asset or a kind of holdback?
Well, I think it goes beyond Hollywood. I think it's the entire pop culture that is part and parcel for projecting whatever images we get in the society. Whether it's television, whether it's billboards or magazines, it is the pop culture that we are a part of now that pretty much shapes and defines, unfortunately, in the minds of many people, who we are and what we are about.
But given the amount of black TV shows on TV now, does this represent a kind of growth?
Jesse, how many of those shows are produced by black people? How many of the scripts are written by black people? How many black people are involved in the actual design of what goes over the air? There are black people on the set acting out the roles, but the roles are not necessarily roles defined by them.
That's probably not true, say, of the Bill Cosby Show, A Different World with Debbie Allen produces. Duke, let me ask you a question. Since some of these shows have gone from Mantan, Molan, and the stereotypes, and they are now like top rated, does it mean that white people like black people better?
Well, I think white people have certainly grown up a lot in relationship with blacks in this country, but I believe this. I believe that television today and Hollywood today has a new racist portrayal. And it's the portrayal of the white racist, of the innocent black who's accused of crimes they didn't commit, of victims of discrimination. I've never seen a program yet talking about what a white person does who works harder in school or works harder in their job and faces racial discrimination by quotas or affirmative action programs. I think there's a reverse racism today in the media. I think there's a racism going on against whites in our national media, and I don't like it.
But basically, Duke, what you see when you have whites who are commentators and thinkers and philosophers, there's a kind of self-evidence notion that white people have power in the country. You want to respond.
I agree with what Mr. Viguerie said before, that what we really need to be doing is going to a colorblind society. And unfortunately, there are stereotypes, both in Hollywood and in the popular imagination. And it seems to me that the Civil Rights Bill goes in exactly the wrong direction by perpetuating these sort of things, by putting an emphasis on that. We ought to be instead worrying about ways of making people forget the differences based on race, which really don't mean anything anyway. And I just want to address the congressman very briefly. If it is so important that we have this civil rights bill, why did the congressmen specifically exempt themselves from this bill and said we don't have to pay any attention to the law, but everybody else does?
Now, you know and I know that that's a lie, all right? You and I know that that's a lie, so let's be honest. Let's not play games on this set. I understand your position.
Can you go to court?
Yes.
Can you go to court? No.
I understand your position. I understand Mr. Duke's position, but I want you to understand mine. I didn't come here to play games and to shout. This is not the Mort Downey show for me. I take this very, very seriously. You do what you have to do. I will do what I have to do.
Viguerie?
Didn't really answer the question.
Just
Brief comment, Reverend, on Hollywood. Unfortunately, I'm afraid Hollywood did engage in stereotypes dealing with minorities in years past, but I don't think you really see that as a problem today with the media, Hollywood, television, movies. But where the bias and the prejudice is against people with traditional values, Christians particularly, businessmen. They are made to appear to be con artists. They attack Christian ministers regularly. But the stereotyping now...
We'll be right back. We'll be right back. All right. Thank you. This week, you have been a marvelous audience. Next week, we will discuss, is free speech really free? Is it dangerous? What are its limitations? We've had a great discussion today about civil rights, race, sex, and class. We have boys and girls in the Persian Gulf willing to give up blood for oil and for freedom. Certainly, if we can die together abroad, we can live together at home. The greatness of America, we're not always right, but we have the right to fight for the right. I suppose Abraham Lincoln put it this way, that a house divided against itself cannot stand. Dr. King put it another way. He said that we'll live together as brothers and sisters or die apart as fools. I urge you to turn to each other and not on each other. Let's keep hope alive. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. Keep hope alive. Thank you. Thank you.
For a VHS copy of today's program, call 1-800-999-9006. Visa and MasterCard only. If you're going to be in the Washington, D.C. area and are interested in being on the Jesse Jackson Show, please write us at P.O. Box 9790, Washington, D.C. 20016.
Somehow I still believe that unmerited suffering is redemptive. It may be that from the blood of those young men, our whole nation will be redeemed, and that we will rise to higher heights of brotherhood and understanding.
When lions and lambs lie down together, none will be afraid, and there will be peace in the valley. It sounds impossible. Lions eat lambs. Lambs sensibly flee from lions. Yet even lions and lambs find common ground. Why? Because neither lion nor lambs want the forest to catch on fire. Neither lions nor lambs want acid rain to fall. Neither lions nor lambs can survive nuclear war. If lions and lambs can find common ground, surely we can as well as civilized people.